Good day, friends of the SOP Reading Club. We start yet again another 2 weeks of indulging into the blessed messages that are in Spiritual Gifts Volume 3. Now, those coming 2 weeks are very special, not only because they have better content than others, definitely not, but because those 2 weeks actually take us through the last 8 chapters of Spiritual Gifts Volume 3. So we'll actually be closing the book and moving on to Volume 4. So in these last 8 chapters, we start from chapter 14 right through all the way to 21. And I promise you these chapters are packed with great object lessons that are not only valuable, but immediately applicable to your life, as I've found them applicable even to mine own life. So let's take a look at what we can expect to learn through these chapters. And this description is by no means exhaustive. It's just cherry-picked object lessons, because each chapter is packed with more object lessons than we can cover in the preview. So the encouragement is to dig in deep and share what you will find as we read through these chapters. So in chapter 14, the title is Jacob and the Angel. And in this chapter, we're going to learn what to do when confronted with the true nature of our sins. Then we move on to 15, which is titled Joseph and his brethren. And from here, we're going to learn what should our posture be, maybe when we witness unrighteousness being practiced by others. And we see this all the time as Christians. This chapter is going to teach us how best to respond in those situations. Chapter 16 is Moses. And here we'll find and learn that heavenly agencies respond to the earnest prayers of God's children. If the heavenly agencies could respond to the earnest prayers of Moses' mother, how much more your earnest prayers and my earnest prayers? Those things were written for our admonition, that from times past we must learn that God doesn't change, and He will do so for us as He did for others. In chapter 17, we're going to learn about the plagues in Egypt. And here we're going to learn what to do when we are discouraged in the work of the Lord. Even Moses, the greatest leader, at some point was discouraged. But in this chapter, there is encouragement for you and me, for a great work lies before us, the work to close the time. Chapter 18 speaks about the Passover, and here we learn how the works of obedience are an expression of our faith in our Father. Chapter 19 covers Israel when they leave Egypt. And in this chapter, we learn that God's leading is the most sensible, even though it may not seem so at the time. And this reminds me of a quote from the Ministry of Healing, I think it's page 479, that says that God would not lead His children otherwise than they would be led if they could tell the end from the beginning. In chapter 20, we learn about the journeys of the Israelites. And we're going to learn here that the blessings of obedience, we're going to learn what the blessings of obedience are, and also what the consequences of disobedience are. And in the last chapter 21, that says the law of God. Here we're going to learn that God alone should be the object of our worship, and that this is indeed the safest path for humanity. So friends, these are only a few object lessons that we get, only one from each chapter. But I can't wait to hear what you're going to find in these 2 weeks when we meet again on the Sabbath afternoon to discuss and share our learning so that we strengthen each other. Be blessed as you read.